Welcome to Medieval Kingdom Wars, a new grand strategy game from our indie studio. There are a lot of exciting features in the game, so let's see if we can cover at least some of them today. The game is about medieval life and the horrors of combat, when armies clash in the field, and when great sieges erupt in blood and gore because, let's not fool ourselves, it's the Middle Ages. People won't just politely knock on the door. It's the game that we at Reverie World Studios always dreamed of making once we'd mastered the strategy genre. There will be a lot of ways to play the game. Single player, multiplayer, including dual co-op, where players share command of one epic town. And of course the long immersive single player campaign, in which you get to reshape the history of Europe in the best traditions of grand strategy gaming. Today, our focus is the campaign mode, long, immersive, full of massive, bloody sieges. In the 14th century, the 100 Years' War erupted, with England and France fighting for land, but it quickly escalated into monarchies grasping for each other's thrones and fighting for sheer survival. This is a living map. Whatever happens on the battle map will show up on the world map, and the other way around. It all unfolds in real time. Here we're looking at medieval Orléans in France. The geography is rigorously accurate. Towns are vast and sprawling and precisely rendered historical reproductions. The player starts off with one, then expands his control over others. It's pretty peaceful right now, but it won't be for long because, well, that wouldn't be much fun. The player knows this, and he's getting ready to defend his realm and add to it in the time-honored manner of invading his neighbors. You can see him building up the economy in the RTS mode. There are 17 resources in the game, including 4 core resources, food, stone, iron, and wood, as well as a global resource, silver.
Thy workers have completed a building.
Now our player is starting construction of the key buildings he needs, and you can see he's adding to the existing infrastructure of Orléans. He needs these for the economy, for future construction, for research, or for training troops. Recruiting every soldier presents a dilemma. Will I have enough provisions to feed this unit, or will it result in the town population starving? Will I have enough coin to pay them? Medieval Kingdom Wars is a survival game at its core. It's a good idea to upgrade those walls because it's only a matter of time till someone starts tossing rocks at them. Notice the way there are no buttons and no countless stats in the main user interface. Instead, we introduce the concept of court advisors that the player recruits and interacts with, giving it an added human touch. For example, the steward is in charge of various upgrades, improvements, and research.
Dost need a report, Your Grace?
The 14th century was a time of extraordinary breakthroughs in science and engineering, and the game reflects that with an extremely complex tech tree. Feudal relations and diplomacy also play a critical role. A player starts the game as a minor lord and over time must build relations with the king as well as with neighboring lords. And eventually you can even rebel, overthrowing the king. Guess what? That really expands the possibilities, recruiting new lords, awarding lands, and directly influencing European politics. Spring is here and it's time for campaign season. Always best to fight during the summer. When sending armies across the world map, you need to always consider the terrain. Rivers, tight mountain passes, and even the English Channel can be a good place to ambush an enemy army. An enemy army outfitted for siege or field combat will often be heavily disadvantaged fighting at sea and vice versa. Ever tried to besiege a town with nothing but swords, chipping away at stone walls? But the towns you'll besiege are huge, So battles require multiple armies, and the player will have to work with other AI lords on sieges and defense. Getting along with at least some of your neighbors will turn out to be surprisingly helpful. Right now, this player is going places history never went. He's playing the French, and he's invading English soil, the city of Dover. He's got a dozen different siege engines, and he's joined by another French lord, controlled by the AI, that has blockaded the city with a palisade, getting ready to starve the defenders.
The enemy has attacked. Marry, they will not die well in
One
this.
mighty machine here.
Medieval Kingdom Wars combines fixed force with build and destroy gameplay. So while our player and his ally have brought some forces with them from the world map, he's also going to create a siege camp and train more units for this battle. Attackers are in a better position since they can hunt, pillage nearby villages, and have plenty of resources at their disposal. Meanwhile, the defenders are probably having a meal of fried rats and dogs, and literally dismantling their own homes for resources.
You would be yours.
This leads to another problem. Citizens in the city can rise up if things go badly. They'll starve, stop paying taxes, and pretty much make your job miserable. Uneasy lies the head that, wears the crown. Your feet are to the fire and you're in command. So whatever happens, well, everyone will blame you. It unfolds across England, France, the Holy Roman Empire, the Kingdom of Castile, and the Italian city-states. 100 years of war for you to get lost in.